You've read it 1,000 times. Calories, fat, sodium, sugar. That little black and white box on every package of food in America. It exists because a senator kept insisting and the food industry kept resisting for 20 years. In 1969, you could buy a product called Vita-Sea that claimed to be made from seawater and provide all your daily vitamins. It was tap water with food coloring. There was no ingredient list requirement. No nutrition information. No standard serving size. A cereal could claim it built strong bodies, and a soda could call itself healthful, and there was nothing anyone could do about it. The FDA had tried to require nutrition labeling in the 1940s and was shut down by the food industry every time. The argument was always the same: consumers don't understand nutrition, labeling is too expensive, and besides, it's proprietary information. In 1969, the White House Conference on Food, Nutrition, and Health, convened by President Nixon, recommended mandatory nutrition labeling. The FDA proposed rules in 1973. They were watered down, delayed, and partially implemented. Voluntary for most foods. Mandatory only for foods with added nutrients or health claims. Which meant, if your product was honest about being junk food, you didn't have to label it. For the next 17 years, the nutrition label was optional, inconsistent, and confusing. Different companies used different serving sizes. Different formats. Different units. You couldn't compare products because the labels weren't comparable. In 1977, Senator George McGovern Senate Select Committee on Nutrition and Human Needs published Dietary Goals for the United States. It said, eat less fat, less sugar, less salt. The food industry went nuclear. The meat industry called it the vegetarian lobby. The sugar industry called it unscientific. McGovern lost his seat in 1980, partly because of the fight. But the idea didn't die. Over the next decade, consumer groups, scientists, and a few legislators kept pushing for a standard label. The food industry kept pushing back. They proposed alternative formats that were harder to read. They lobbied against mandatory serving sizes. They argued that saturated fat was too complicated for consumers to understand. The food industry's position was, you're too stupid to understand what's in your food. And the government agreed, for 17 years. In 1990, Congress passed the Nutrition Labeling and Education Act. It was signed by President George H.W. Bush. Mandatory nutrition labeling. Standard serving sizes. Standard format. The black and white grid. The thing you see on every package today. The label was designed by the FDA with extensive consumer testing. They tested 40 different formats. They tested label designs with focus groups. They studied how long it took people to find information. The result is that grid, serving size at the top, calories in bold, nutrients below, percent daily values on the right. Every element was fought over. The food industry wanted percent of calories from fat, instead of grams of fat, because a gram of fat has 9 calories, and the number looks bigger. Consumer groups wanted grams. The compromise was both. In 2016, the label was updated for the first time. Added sugars, a line the sugar industry had fought for 26 years, finally appeared. Serving sizes were adjusted to reflect what people actually eat, not what companies wish you'd eat. The font got bigger. The layout got cleaner. And still, every change was fought. The nutrition label is the most read document in America after the Constitution. And it exists because for 20 years, the food industry argued you didn't deserve to know what you were eating. The most read label in America was opposed for 20 years by the industry that puts food on your shelves. They said you wouldn't understand it. They were wrong. Read the label. They fought to keep you from seeing it.
Read the label. They fought to keep you from seeing it.